and they found that the baby was had passed away. We are human beings caring for other human beings.
Who create the changes of the time? Who create the visions of your mind? The visions of your mind.
Yes, so I have a daughter. She is 5 months old, 5.5 months old now. And she was born in August of 2021. My pregnancy, for the most part, was smooth sailing. Again, I feel I'm fortunate enough as a Black woman who is a midwife, who was able to obviously just attend my appointments while I was at work, see my colleagues. I was able to say, I want to see this colleague who wants to do my checkups, etc., etc. So I had that advantage, but the pregnancy was pretty much smooth sailing until I got to the 3rd trimester, where I had 2 hospital admissions because I was having contractions from about 32 weeks, which is not normal. But luckily baby stayed inside. She cooked until 37 weeks, and then I had her just before I turned 38 weeks. So the pregnancy itself was, I would say, it was absolutely fine. You know, it was bumpy towards the end, but all was well. Labor and childbirth, to me, I would actually do it again and again and again if my experience was like that. It was amazing. Again, I know that I'm awarded the fact that I'm a midwife myself, so I was able to pick my midwives who happen to be my 2 best friends, who I work with as well. So in that sense, I was lucky, I'm blessed, but I feel like the whole experience, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed, I wouldn't say I enjoyed labor because it was painful, but as a whole, it was perfect for me. Woo! Motherhood is honestly the best. It's the best job. I love midwifery, but motherhood trumps that by far. Watching her grow from the tiny infant that she was to a 5-month-old is so crazy how time flies when you have a child. It's hard. Many people said to me, or I think they still think, oh yeah, you're a midwife, so you'll figure it out, breastfeeding, you know, looking after her. Midwifery has no correlation to how you're going to be as a mother. I can say that confidently. It's hard. You need sleep. I don't think as a midwife myself, like I said, I've been a midwife for 6 years. You don't understand how much sleep a mother and a father or parents or caregivers need to take care of a child, because you extremely feel it, especially in the first 12 weeks. I felt like I was always drained. After she turned 3 months, it was like a different chapter. Like I knew why she was crying, etc., etc. So overall, it's been a really, really good learning experience. Speak up to family and friends, to your healthcare providers, whether that be your GP, your midwife, your obstetrician. If you're not happy with your care, or if you feel something is not right, we need to be advocates for ourselves, because especially with those statistics that we've spoken about, we need to make sure that if we're not our own voice, that we have someone who can be a voice for us. More specifically, I would say in birth, in your labor and birth, make sure that you have someone who can be that voice for you. Luckily, I had my mum and my partner as well. They knew the birth plan that I wanted. So when I asked for epidural, even though in my head at the beginning I was like, oh, I'll just wait and see, they said, are you sure? Are you sure? So they made sure that they were advocating for me, and I wasn't being forced to have something that I didn't need to or didn't want to have in that moment. So yeah, make sure you're your own advocate, or you have someone who can be. Take care of yourself, take your vitamins, stay hydrated. I wasn't the greatest patient myself, but make sure you have your vitamins, you're hydrated, stay as active as you can, because that's going to benefit you so much when you go into labor and you deliver. For new mums, the same thing. Vitamins, stay well hydrated, especially if you're breastfeeding. It honestly, your water intake directly affects your milk supply, so make sure you do that. for new mums, and while you're pregnant as well, make sure you have a village. I'm surrounded by family, friends who I can speak to, who look after us, who make sure that we're fed, who check in. So it's so important. It doesn't have to be family. It could be a community of friends. It could be a community of new mums that you've met through forums or apps. But just make sure that you have people that you can turn to when you need to.